Right, hello and welcome, and this is going to be a fun one. Don't know just how far I'm going to get, but my deadline is 3 weeks to X-Pack and paint this car. So this will probably not be released until after the end of August. Basically, I have a road trip that's going down through, way down through Wales and England and everything with all the mates, Jordan and Thomas and Alex and Daniel and all those ones. And that is at the end of August, the bank holiday weekend. So by the time this video is up, I would say that's probably past already. So you'll see how far I get at the end of the video. But I want to try and get this thing X-Packed. Long story short, whenever I first got it on the road, I just patched it up and got it on the road. You saw me welding at this side where the foot panel down in there, the cell end, a wee bit of welding on the headlight bucket, making the headlight bucket and making that bit down there and stuff. This side didn't really ever get much attention, as you can see. It was made solid with some copious amounts of, let's say, tiger seal down in there, with the intention of doing it again in a couple of months. Now, that's been like a year and a bit. It was June last year. So anyway, I'm going to send it over to a good friend of mine, Ryan, who does all the welding and my stuff. I'm sending it over to him in the morning, and he's going to fix all the dodgy stuff on the car to get it solid and legal for the road trip. And to do that, I had to take all the wings off. So wings are all lying here, the front spoiler and everything's lying here. And yeah, I don't really want to be putting that back on, because if I'm getting the wing rails and everything set and all that carry on, I want it set to the X-Pack. So setting the X-Pack over with it, and I'm going to go over some night and give him a hand to fit wing rails and fit the X-Pack front wings. The back end isn't going to be horrendous. I need to take off the louvers again off this back bumper. Stuff needs to come off, and then I can cut where the existing tub is. It's sort of up about this swage line someplace. That comes out and round on the standard inner tub. What I usually do is I just cut that off level and then extend it out. So it's going to be fun. I've already done this once, and I said never again at the time, but you know what it's like, don't you? I'm going to not do much more tonight at this, but tomorrow it's going to welding, and then we'll get an update when it comes back from there, hopefully with the front wings fairly well fitted, probably not fully fitted, just set on. I've got paint ordered, because I might, if I can, I would love to have it painted. I don't want to rush it at the same time, but if I can get, I have 3 weeks, if I can get the welding done this week and get it back for the end of the week, that leaves me 2 weeks. And my thinking is, I'm off work now for 2 weeks. Thinking is, if I can get the X-Pack kit fitted and filled, at least then it's good to go to the road trip, regardless of whether I paint it or not. But it's not that much extra work, ish, to paint the car. If X-Pack and all is fitted, it's a matter of flattening all this back, 400 grit, and just cleaning it all down and getting it sort of prepped. I have talked long enough. You know the plan. Weld, X-Pack, paint, and do a few other bits. 3 weeks. Is it possible? Let me know at the start of the video what you think in your comments, and then let me know what you think at the end of it also. Alright, so over at Ryan's, here's the rest of the welding all done. Now we're on to wing rails and front X-Pack. He's just finishing off converting the Mark II bonnet into Mark III for me. This is only literally sitting here, but remember the gap issues I had on the last X-Pack kit, where they're back to haunt me again. I'll probably be able to fix the bottom of this, okay. But the top, I think the last way I sorted it was to bond a bit of metal on behind here and fill out. And somebody's already started to fill it out here. That's pretty much where I want to end up there. So I'm going to have to continue filling that the whole way down to get that to sit anywhere near it. So yeah, anyway, I'll not be videoing too much today, probably, because I just need to get this done. But I'll catch you up near the end and show you progress. Well, we're about to make the this whole job non-reversible, let's just say. I'm about to cut this arch out, and then I have tub panels pre-rolled, and they'll go in at some point. But yeah, right, we get cutting. Yeah, that's a good bit of cutting. So somebody's been here before. I did wonder how the inner arch was painted. That's the old outer arch that somebody has just welded an arch over. Perfect candidate for an X-Pack anyway, this thing. Lovely. I would prefer that standard Ford. Yes, this side has already also had an over arch stuck on. A very rashly done one, but that. So, yeah, I do not feel bad whatsoever right now about what do you call it? About X-Pack in this car. It is woeful. Right, so I haven't been doing much videoing because time is of the essence and all that. But we are making some sort of progress at least. The bonnet is now on and the gaps aren't horrendous up the two sides. It does get a little bit wider in the middle, but I'm hoping whenever I put a slotted hole in the wing rail, I can push that in with bolts and straighten it up as it goes. This side is actually pretty decent. It needs to come out a little bit more at the front, but yeah, it's fiberglass. The biggest issue on fitting an X-Pack is the gap from scuttle to kit. Trying to get this all to line up lovely whilst dealing with this mess down the side. Because, and I shall show you, open the door, it just wants to hit the kit and the gap's still massive. So this side, I can space it out a little bit at the bottom here. Hang on, up better. I can space it out a little bit at the bottom and it does just miss. But I'm going to need to put a bit of fiberglass and filler to bring this gap back a little bit at the top because it's just not pleasing me sitting like that. This side over here, pretty much the same. You can see where I've drawn arrows on it. This one actually opens and closes all right over here. I've got this one sort of half fettled into place. Still need to fix it at the bottom, and I only have 2 screws holding the wings on it at the moment. This is a Mark II bonnet that you saw earlier in the video. I think that was converted to a Mark III bonnet. And at some point here, I'm probably going to have to get the headlight bezels and headlights and stuff set in to see if they're all going to fit as well. It's taking shape. Another couple of evenings and I'm off all week, so another couple of days at it. Should hopefully get it fitting close enough to decide whether or not I'm actually going to be able to paint the thing before the trip. As it stands, this is Monday. We have next Monday is 7 days, well 6 days really, but I've less than 2 weeks. I've about 12, 13 days realistically. In fact, I don't, because I'm going on the Friday. I've got about 10 days. So, I've got about 10 days to get this thing fully fitted up, panel bonded on at the back, filler work all done, fiberglass work all done, primed and potentially painted, but I'm doubtful currently that I'm actually going to be able to do it. Right, that's enough chatting. I'm going to go and do a little bit more here. Right, after much fettling, no fiberglass work actually, just lining up. That gap is so much better. And the door opens. I also have the wing. You can see the bolts in there. It's bolted on the whole way. I need to get hex-headed nuts or bolts. But that one at least is looking pretty good. Yeah. Both wings bow in here. So I'm going to have to potentially block that out with a bit of filler and sand it if it can be bothered. That one's worse. So, yeah. Nearly fell over the welder. Right, I'm going to get this wing now. Properly bolted, because at the moment it's only got 2 tech screws in it. So I shall drill a load of holes down that now with lined up, put the tech or the riv nuts in, and then, yeah. That's another bit done. A couple of things that I've noticed now the car's on the lift. It must have been too much effort to put that in straight and tighten that one up. Also, I never wired the electric fan in clearly. Also, it's hard to tell, but the inner joint is completely and utterly gone in that rack. Yeah. Still, we're getting there. Right. More progress, though it doesn't seem like it probably in a video. But headlights are now in. And if you fitted an X-Pack, you know how much of a handling that is. But with a lot of trimming, anything is possible. Fiberglass dust everywhere. I have to trim basically half the wing out in there to make it sit sort of semi where you need it to. So they're only sitting there, of course, but yeah, it's in, looks decent. The next point is to try and fix the bottom of these wings here because they're just currently floating in midair. I'm going to do that later on tonight and get the wings fully fitted. At least that way everything's boltable off. Is that a word? Unboltable? Aye, that's the one. And I can then take them off and on and they'll go back to the same place. Right. Can't remember where we got to with the rear kit. This side is second hand. It's already been on a car and removed. And you can see where the original kit line, the fiberglass line comes to and where the filler is. So I'm going to probably run my grinder along this. Just sort of make it a crease in it almost. And then hopefully be able to chip the filler off so that I can blend it in again myself without having to blend over the blend. I'm going to actually have to look at this again as well because the fuel filler flap needs extended out from memory. I think all you do is you get a bit of flat plate, drill 4 holes in it, and then extend it out with like nuts or something. I can't remember exactly how I did it, to be honest, but I think it's going to be a lot of trial and error. I'll have to look back at my old video. The joys of doing it once before and then having a poor memory. You can look back at your old content. Tub is now 1 coat of fiberglass on it. The tub to body gap, that is. Once the kit's on, then we need to come back and do the other side and bond it into the kit. But going to get this another coat of matting and resin at some point here. And then that means I can run around the whole kit, buff off the paint where the panel bond's going, prep the whole surfaces for panel bond, and then get it stuck on once and for all. Right, today's progress. Doesn't look like much probably so far, but made these bits. These now meet the wing and I have drilled holes in them so that I can screw through to the wing edge. Same on both sides. Found that the bottom of the headlight bucket was rotten completely on this side, so new bottom is put in that. Buffed down all the welds and stuff up top. Epoxy primed all the repairs. Started in with filler to try and smooth out the welds. Same up here in the bonnet. Bit of filler has been put on. Need to sand that all back and go again about 10 times probably. The wing, ignore the state of this place, it's an absolute state. This wing I have built out with fiberfill. Same with the point of this wing, because it was chipped off. The rear of the car, we're about to fit this kit. This fiberglass is now on the second layer. It's hard already, it was only done about an hour ago. But there's now 2 layers of fiberglass the whole way out around this side of the tub. They'll be the same on the other side of the tub when we get the kit in. It'll come out to meet the kit. We have buffed the paint off back to bare steel where the panel bond stuff is going to sit. The whole way right round. It's nice to see actual fresh steel on the car. But yeah, gonna try and put this kit on next. Right, on we go with this stuff. Right, it is the morning after the night before. Kit is bonded. This glue is hard as the road. I have all the screws now removed. Well, I'm keeping the ones in at the bottom just for extra security. You can't see them, and it definitely means nothing's ever going to move. These ones here now, I have sanded these edges and tried to feather them in. I need to do this wee bit, possibly a little bit more here. Once that kit is on, or once the window trim rather is on, you don't really see too much of this. So I need to fill in the holes from the screws. So I'm gonna mix up a dose of fiberfill. It's like Isopon P40, only U-Pul's variant of it. Basically it is filler with inbuilt fiberglass strands to make it stronger. It's the stuff that I put on the wing last night down here. So yeah, it dries a bit like fiberglass. I'm going to fiberglass fill these joints to make them stronger, and because it has better filling properties, I think, for filling large areas. Also, you can see how many colors this kit has been. So it's white currently, it has been blue, it's been green, and it's been yellow. So yeah, it's going on now, and it may be one of those colors again. You'll have to wait and see. Right, I'm going to get on with the filling. It's a very long, intensive process that I'm sure not very many people find interesting anyway. So I'm going to get on with filling this gap and then start into sanding it. It is now, as a way of time update, it is now Thursday morning. So I've got 8 days. So did a wee bit of filling this morning already at these bonnet edges. This one needs a bit more. Down here, stuff's sort of fairly happy with it. Needs another wee skim potentially. And I need to start filling the likes of these wee bits and finish sanding the bits down there. And yeah, there's a lot to do. But I have a bit of help coming over the next few days. A couple of my friends are coming around to give me a hand. So if we can get this thing prepped by, it's now Thursday morning, if I can get it prepped by Saturday evening, it leaves me in pretty good stead to hopefully get it painted next week. So we'll see. I think the term the rear quarters are sisters, not twins, is going to apply here, because I think I've got that as close as I really can. It's hard to tell, but it sort of does blend in there. But this side's been on a car about 3 times. There's about 4 different colours in it. This side's brand spanking new, so this is a lot thinner. I'm able to get the lines to blend a lot nicer on this side. This side, I've filled this about 4 or 5 times now, and I think it's the best I'm going to get. Need to fill in all the pinholes and stuff here. I'm actually taking it back down to 400 again. The sanding marks out of it, but between that and I think over here, stuff's all alright too now, so. Oh, I hate bodywork. Oh, I forgot how much of a prick this was. But fuel filler flap is now extended using some very rash engineering. But it's on and it works, so I'll take it. Right, so it is currently 12:30-ish in the morning and we're still going. This is the next night actually. I haven't videoed since last night, but today's progress has been vast. Doesn't look like much, but there's a lot that's been done. Wings have all been fully lined up, engine bay masked off and stripped down, everything all masked off, the rest of the car, all the doors and everything all stripped, everything finally blocked down to say our 320 400 grit the whole way right round. Some person, lovely person, had sprayed plasti dip all over this car at one point, and it was in every gutter, it was in every seam, everywhere. I've also put a bit of rope in behind this seal, so you can see the seal is currently sitting up off the window, so that'll hopefully blow the stuff in underneath it. Engine bay is going to be a best effort sort of a job. Get it blew in around it and see what it looks like. Tonight I am going to epoxy this car, just to try and get it on and curing. We're wiping down the panels, we're about to wipe down the whole car. I'm going to mix up some epoxy and yeah, send it. That means I have about 24 hours before I can, 24-hour window while that I can still then throw base coat on without having to re-sand the whole car. So tomorrow's plan is to have a look and see what the damage is on the epoxy. I might have to go over it again with the DA in 320, or not 320, 600 and sand it back, but we'll hope not. The tried and tested extraction method featuring the baby bath, the flat pack furniture and a sound deadening is complete. And yeah, we're about to make a start. Don't know if I'll video this because I'm using my phone and I don't fancy my phone being covered in overspray, but we'll see. Alright then, after much gnashing of teeth, it is done. Well, not done, it's in primer, and it's good enough for me to want to put base coat on. So, still a few wee bits and pieces that only I will ever notice probably, but at this point it's getting sent, well and truly sent. So yeah, I'm going to mix up the colour and let you see what it looks like, and then hopefully get it slapped on here. So here's the colour we're going. Ford Mean Green. It's off the new Focus STs and stuff, so let's get some mixed up and see what it looks like on the car. Oh, that's great. That is obnoxious. I love it. Right, base coat done. Very happy. Well, I'm happy now. I wasn't happy about 5 hours ago. For the last 5 hours, rather. But it's done as good as it's getting. Definitely could have improved on my prep. There's a few bits I've spotted that I didn't see, to be honest. But it is what it is. I should have really done the epoxy, then done a couple of coats of high build, then blocked it back with guide coat, and then I just don't have the time. I really do not have the time, nor the patience either. So anyway, I'm going to get on now in about 20 minutes time, whenever this flashes off, and start into clear coat. Guns all completely cleaned out. Everything's sitting ready to start mixing. So yeah, I shall update you once it's shiny. Right, it has been a long couple of weeks, but it's in paint. It's not perfect by any means. It's a 20 footer, but I'm pretty happy with it. The only thing I'm not sure about, and I'll not know really until I get it wet sanded in a couple of months' time, is whether I put enough lacquer on. I did a decent coat for the first coat, I did a really heavy coat for the second coat, but I chickened out of a third coat because I had 0 runs. And the sort of saying of quit while you're ahead was playing. So yeah, I think it should be fine. I think I've got enough lacquer on, but I've always got that doubt in my head. But it's time to do the exciting part now. Unwrap a Christmas present. So let's get the paper off this thing and see how it goes. Okay, that's going to do me for tonight. Headlight bezels aren't the same colour. As much as I really want to run them like this just to annoy people, and they're going black tomorrow. All unmasked, as you saw. I think that was the last time I videoed, to be honest. It's been a day. Got the spoiler and stuff on, tailgate lock and everything transferred over. Doors are all built back up, handles not in them. Partial shelf is in. I had, this car only ever came with the front middle speaker and the dash up in there. So I now have 2 rear speakers and a new stereo wired in. Tomorrow should hopefully see the car interior all put back together. Get the boot plastics and everything into it. I've 3D printed the X-Pack bumper adapter things for 4 corners. And I would like to get all the bumpers and stuff in black paint. So yeah. Under the engine bay. Under the engine bay. It's definitely looking a lot tidier in here than it used to. I fitted a stainless steel bonnet ram kit just because I can, because I have loads of them. And I need to top up the coolant because I changed the thermostat and temperature sensor. And also I had the radiator out. So yeah, right. I'm getting in for the night. And yes, the bonnet's still white underneath. That's epoxy primer. Don't have time to paint it yet. I'll do it after the trip. And yeah, very happy so far with progress. I cannot complain at all. So it's time to make the turbo adapter. Got a suitably sized bit of stock in the lathe. Time to ream a 25mm hole out through the middle of it, just as the biggest drill bit I have, and then take it out with a boring bar to final inner diameter of 46mm. So a lot of hogging out of material to do, but it's probably a bit boring, so literally I'll show you the final product when it's done. Right, it's a bit agricultural, as is everything that I do, but I now have a nice interference fit, and by interference fit I mean hammer fit, over the outlet or the inlet of the turbo. So get this fitted and see if it works. Right, about 15 miles done, no real issues as such. Apart from this here is coming up through and into the vents, so I need to reroute it and hide it somewhere away from me, like down I think. You hear that thumping noise? I don't know if you can hear it or not. Sounds like it's coming from the... Yeah, I think somebody in a comment said it's a worn cam, but unsure. It's always been doing it, it's not a new thing, but just wondering now that I'm actually caring for the car, is it something to worry about, you know? But apart from that, steering seems to be a lot better. Still has the odd shake under braking, like you have to, but I think that's work discs. Coolant is now sitting at 90 degrees when you're driving, although I never wired the fan up, so I'm going to have to wire it up now, I would say. Sitting idling, it's been sitting here for 5 minutes and it's still at 89, but I'll probably wire it in just to be sure. 13.3 miles I did. Yeah. So, need to fix the exhaust rattle. Might put front spacers on, although I think it's settled in the ride height. Well, it has a wee bit. It's not horrendous. Might lower the back. Yeah, I might lower the back. I have well, as you can see, I made it to the trip. I'm 550 miles down, but she's here in one piece. And yeah, very happy to have all the Capris out again. It was 2021 the last time all these cars were all together. I that.
I think
That's the section you haven't marked.
That up back bumper on them.
It's been into the ring. That's not good enough for that.
What's it doing? Or?
I'll turn it over to me here too.
It's turning over,
Alright.
but it's turning over fast. Mate, that's not nice.
It's not.
It was good, pulled out down there. First was alright, went to second, and then it went. And then I tried starting it again, and it did a. Still a sunk called pressure, which is. Sorry, when I tried starting it again, it went.
The belt looks okay. When we were turning over, we were having a look. It doesn't look like it's stripped.
What are we doing, Thomas?
Oh, we're recovering Daniel once more. Third time!
What's up? Oh, look at that. It's a bit unusual, isn't it?
No, get used to it now. He's got his own dedicated strap on my car.
Oh, see that. Ah, it's worrying.
Unsure if this red light means go or not, but we're going. 905 miles done, back on the boat, and yeah, it's been an amazing trip. I shall catch up at the far side and do a bit of a debrief as such, but operation weld, X-Pack and paint a car in less than 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it was, is complete, successful, and yeah, happy days. All right then, so it's been, I don't know, a week or so now since I got home. I suppose it's time to film the outro of this video. Somehow managed to pull it off. Car was welded, X-Packed, painted in about 12-13 days. I did overall 1,005 miles and it worked out at around 50 miles to the gallon. A few things that I definitely want to change in the Capri, so that'll be in an upcoming couple of videos probably. I would like to convert it to power steering. Might end up doing some engineering, that's called agricultural engineering, but I might end up modifying the standard Pinto cross member to fit the Capri 2.8 V6 steering rack. For the simple reason that I've already made all the mounts and everything on that other cross member, and I don't want to ruin another one. I've seen that you can drill 2 holes through the 4-cylinder steering rack. Goes on with 2 U-brackets that clamp the rack down. However, the V6 rack basically bolts them with 2 19mm headed bolts. So I've seen that you can drill the cross member of a 4-cylinder one, make up a couple of big beefy tubes in the lathe and weld them into it, and then you can fit the cross member or the steering rack for V6. So I might try that. The brakes at the front are pretty bad, as in warped, so I'm going to just say screw it and fit my big Brembos. The rear gear needs swapped out badly for a 309 and limited slip diff, because why not? And tablet setup, I want to do it proper. At the minute it's way over. You saw it on the far side of the dash over there. I would like to get a wee small tablet and build 3D scan the dash cluster and make something really nice, like permanent sort of a solution, that it stays in the car, comes live when you turn the key on, that sort of thing. I want to do it nicely. I'm fed up forgetting the tablet and not having your miles recorded and stuff like that. I want it to be a permanent addition to the car. Well, I'm fairly happy with how the car turned out overall. You let me know what you think in the comments, whether I made the right choice, X-packing it and painting it that colour. Well, you would have done it differently. And let me know what you want to see next. I need to put the stripes and stuff on the side. I'm tempted to go back with the X stripe that I had in the blue car. I might change the spoiler. I have a genuine turbo tail in there. and I might be in the process of getting RGA spoilers remade. It's the way with the company at the moment, and potentially the turbo tails. Hopefully, if all goes to plan and it's not a fortune, I might be able to get them done in rubber, which would be really nice. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Back to actually doing some cool stuff for myself and not for other people for a change. So I'm going to try and keep that up and get some more cool stuff for myself done. I'm laying off like doing work for other people's stuff for a while. I have a lot of stuff here at the minute. I have 4 Capris and a Sierra and a Passat, all for other people that I need to get done. So once they're done, taking a break for a while, and just going to focus on doing my own stuff. I have a Bridgeport mill to rebuild, I have a lathe I want to give attention, loft to finish, all the shelving to sort upstairs. I want to build myself an office, put my 3D printers and all up into it properly, completely sort out the whole workshop downstairs, reorganize it, get myself a machine room built at the back. I have a lot of stuff I want to do for myself, and I'm going to try and bring you along. So I've waffled enough. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. It's been emotional. Bye.
What are we doing, Thomas?
Oh, we're recovering Daniel once more. 3rd time!
Oh, look at that. It's a bit unusual, isn't it?
No, get used to it now. He's got his own dedicated strap on my car.
Oh, see that.